Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be when to call when she doesn't. In other words, if you're dating a girl and you're used to her calling you and texting you, and then all of a sudden she stops, at what point do you pick up the phone and call her? And so I got an email from a guy who's asking me pretty much that same question. And he says, "Hey Corey, how you doing?" He says, "Thanks again immensely for your help and advice, which is always very much appreciated. As you know, I was with this 24-year-old Portuguese girl. I'm 45, she lives in Portugal, and I live in the UK, and it's been on and off for 9 months. She dumped me, to which I gave her the winning your ex back speech, and it worked. For the past month or so, she has regularly been in contact, and I have made very little mistakes. Still need to improve on a few things, though. However, because I was so into this girl emotionally now, I'm so much stronger. It's amazing. I just feel so much more confident and centered. I suppose everything happens for a reason. She now regularly asks to meet. My question is that she's kind of complaining that it is her who always initiates contact, because for the last month she has done 100% of it. I do contact her, say in 5 to 6 days' time, if she doesn't contact me, like you mentioned in your book when you first start dating. Or do I remain doing what I'm doing if she doesn't contact me and just let it go?" Well, here's the thing. This particular girl had blown you off, and she wasn't coming to see you, and she wasn't doing anything to initiate contact. Now she's doing all of it. And if she's actually coming over and seeing you and spending time together and you guys are hanging out and hooking up, then yeah, I mean, because the reason I tell you not to contact her is because this girl had blown you off. It's like you don't continue to pursue somebody who doesn't want anything to do with you, basically. And so by always waiting for her to come to you at this point, it allows her interest level to go up. And now she's at the point where she's like, "Well, I'm making all the effort, and you never call me," kind of thing. And so I would say once a week, just one time, if you haven't heard from her, reach out to her. "Hey, what's happening? How are you?" Shoot me an email, shoot me a text, let me know what you're up to. And that's it. And send that off as that. And she'll probably go back to texting you and initiating contact again. But usually, if everything's been going great with your relationship and a woman stops contacting you and you haven't done anything wrong and you're absolutely 100% certain you haven't done anything wrong, or at least you think you haven't done anything wrong, then maybe you did something to hurt her or upset her, or she's just purposely not calling you to see if you call her. And so you got to kind of play with it a little bit and see what's really going on. And if you're doing everything right and you're Mr. Prince Charming and you're always sweet when she calls and you're never a dick to her and you're always appreciative of her phone calls when she does call, she'll continue doing it. But in some cases, like especially if you're new to this stuff and you're just doing it, you can come off sometimes as being a cold dick. And so when you hang up the phone with the girl, she might be thinking, he doesn't really care about me, and I'm the one only doing all the phone calling here, and well, I don't want to continue calling this guy if I'm the only one interested, because now it flips, because the reason she's bringing this up is because she simply doesn't know where she stands with you, and so she's expressing some frustration. And it doesn't mean that you go and you start doing 50% of the calling and pursuing. It just means if you haven't heard from her in a week, because keep in mind, she lives obviously a couple hours away by train. If she lives in another, I would imagine 3 or 4 hours by train, I guess, if she's that close to you country-wise. But the thing is that if you're doing everything right, she'll continue to call you, and you just got to let it go, because you got to keep in mind, this is a girl who blew you off and didn't really give a shit, and who you're constantly calling and texting, and she says, I ain't got any time for it. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But the fact that she is bringing it up communicates that she's thinking about it, and she's obviously noticing that she's doing all the reaching out. And so all you have to do is, just like you said, just once a week, reach out to her. And if you haven't heard from her. But if she's continuing to call you, and she says, "Well, how come I never call you?" And I'd say, "Well, I think it's just because you love me so much and you're so happy that you just want to talk to me all the time. And I'm happy when you call, sweetie. I'm glad to hear from you. What's up, baby?" And you just change the subject and you go right into something else and let her talk and say, "Well, when are you going to get your ass over here and see me again?" They make definite plans and get off the phone, because at the end of the day, even though this girl is several hours away from you by plane or by train, you're not going to sit there and have 10-hour conversation on the phone. You'll talk for a little while, a half hour or whatever, and then just talk about when the next time she's going to come see you and say, great, give me a call when you buy your ticket, or you shoot me an email with your itinerary and I'll pick you up at the train station, or I'll pick you up at the airport, whatever it happens to be. Because keep in mind, it's still really new since things have changed. It's only been a month or so, and you want to get her to the point where she's totally head over heels in love with you. And it's not going to happen if you go back to pursuing her, which is what turned her off in the beginning. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going down to the Wibbia toolbar, which is at the bottom of your screen if you're watching this video on my website, and click the PayPal donate button and donate any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video. At the very least, please share this page with all your friends and family by clicking any one of the social network sharing buttons, which are also located on the Wibbia toolbar. Actually, the network share buttons are located at the top of this video, thanks to YouTube. If you have a question you want to ask me, there's a topic that you want me to cover in a future video newsletter, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen, which is on any page of my website, understandingrelationships.com. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your questions, your situation, or your challenges. And you just got to give me several days to get back to you with a response, because I get a lot of email from the internet, and I also get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. But be patient, I will get back to you. And if you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session. You can do that by clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen and just follow the instructions. And I will talk to you soon.